Yeah. I'll socialize them a little bit.
So we're going to start laying down on a blanket, and then we've got 2 blocks, whatever height you like. I like the tall height. And I put them kind of towards the end of the bolster so it doesn't topple over. And then I even put a blanket on top of the bolster because I like a lot of props. And then scooch forward so the back of your knees are completely supported by the bolster. Feet are like hips width apart, and then gently lay down. And then if you need something kind of under your head, you can fold one blanket and drag it under your head. Make sure you have a strap nearby for later. You want a sandbag across your hips. You can put the sandbag across your hips.
Oh, I'll get it for you. No, okay.
It's right there hanging in the purple.
Anything else on me? Oh, there you go. Perfect.
If you want an eye pillow or like a towel to cover your eyes,
That's
that'll help you.
something.
Yeah, that'll help you drop into relaxation a little bit deeper. Turn your palms up. Slide your arms out enough to the side so that they're not touching the sides of your body, and you feel like you're opening up across your chest. And then I like to kind of inhale, straighten one leg and then the other, and I'll let them reset into their natural position, kind of outer spiral for me. And then I even kind of press my calves into the bolster, lift my hips and let them reset, get out of any little like wrinkles in my hips. And as you inhale, imagine the crown of your head kind of reaching away from your tailbone. And as you exhale, starting at the head, let your head get heavy, and then your shoulders, your arms, back of your ribs come to the floor, hips get heavy. Everything releases as you kind of relax into the earth. And with the inhale, you're lengthening, drawing tailbone away from the crown of the head. And as you exhale, everything's releasing, letting go. Sorry, my speaker's out. And you're softening. Do a few rounds just like that, but kind of notice what is your natural breath. How long is your inhalation? How long is your exhalation? And just observe. How are you feeling as you breathe? Where are you feeling the things you feel? Okay, it's February 2nd. The quote for today in the book Living Your Yoga is, each moment has the same potential for wholeness. Wholeness is found not only in the special moments of being lost in an exquisite sunset, or feeling the perfect balance of stillness and meditation. Every moment of your life can be just as whole if you allow it to be. So today, find the treasure in the most mundane moments. And on your next inhale, inhale for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as you exhale, exhale for that same count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And continue just like that. Whatever pace you want to count at that 5. Make it an even inhale and exhale. 5's too long, move to 4. If it's not long enough, you can move up to 6. Inhale for a count of 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This time inhale for a count of 7. Exhale for 7. Inhale for 8. Exhale for 8. Inhale for 9. Exhale for 9. Inhale for 10. Exhale for 10. Repeat that 10 count breath. Inhaling for 10. Finding a steadiness and a smoothness instead of a panicking. Exhaling for 10. Releasing slowly and controlled. See if you can make that 10 count breath a steady, even, slow breath. Slow that you barely feel like you're moving at all. Notice where you begin to struggle. Feel like you're running out of oxygen or you can't get any more. Notice your thoughts and try to turn those thoughts instead into a struggle into a slow, controlled, embracing and knowing that you can draw in a little more or release a little slower. And you'll be okay. Scan and notice where you can soften. Maybe your jaw, maybe your shoulders, hips. Let go of that 10 count breath and come back to your natural, easy, steady breath, whatever that is. And bring your awareness to your heart center. Bring your awareness to your heartbeat. Notice the heart beating itself. Notice the beat of your own drum. Everyone is different. wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Maybe even make circles with your ankles. As you inhale, reach your hands up over your head, away from you, like you're trying to grab something on the top shelf, and kind of open the front of your chest, reach, maybe even make circles with your wrist. Really long, and then as you exhale, grab your own forearms and elbows. So your hands will grab the elbows, crossing the forearms, and just let them rest kind of over your head, wherever they go. Maybe they touch the ground, maybe they don't. Just open up, stretch a little. Take a few breaths. Notice the space that you create for your lungs. And this time, inhale, release your arms, reach over your head again, like you're grabbing basketball. And then as you exhale, cross the opposite way, the awkward way, the opposite arm on top. Hold your elbows and let them hold there for a few breaths. Notice the sensations and the feelings. And then as you inhale, release your arms, reach over your head again, getting really long. And then as you exhale, let your arms come out to the side, palms up into cactus arms. So your elbows are kind of in line with your elbows, your palms are up. Just open across the chest and the collarbone. And then go ahead and bend your right knee, clasp your fingers around the shin, and pull that right knee in nice and snug towards you. You can leave your left foot on the bolster, or you can use it to kind of kick the bolster away and extend your leg, let it rest on the floor. Make circles with the right ankle. And then bring your left hand to the outside of the right knee. And as you inhale, just gently guide the knee to the left, keeping your shoulders on the floor. And do a gentle twist. Right hand can come into cactus arms. It may not go all the way over. I kind of hook the back of my right foot behind the left knee a little. Draw the tailbone away from the crown of the head and just go to where you feel a gentle stretch. Maybe the right leg will rest on a bolster or block, or just hover. Feel a stretch in the low back. Look to the right if you want a deeper twist. As you inhale, allow yourself to roll back to the back, right leg coming straight up. And then exhale, straighten that right leg. Slide your hands to the calf or the foot, or if you have a strap of a sort, even a hand towel or washcloth, whatever, you can put it around the arch. And then choke up on it, lengthen the arms, straighten the leg, you can back the leg up, take a nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, bend the elbows and draw the leg towards the floor, leaving the head on the floor, shoulders on the floor. Left leg on the floor. If you want to put a sandbag on that left hip because it feels like it's lifting, you can do that. Or if your shoulders are lifting, you can put one on each shoulder. So draw it up to the edge. In yoga, we like to work the edges. Not to the point of ouch, but to the point of it's doing something. You can feel it, for sure. And if it's too much with the straight leg, put a micro bend in the knee. That's fine. You can inhale, back it up, exhale, pull, you can hold it static. Just try to find some 5 or 6 count length breaths. In through the nose, out through the nose. Send each exhale to the area that you feel some sort of tightness. Keeping the head on the floor, the shoulders, the back, the hips. Reaching through that left foot. You can point the toes if you like, or you can flex the foot. Quarter turn that right leg to the right, and then as you exhale, open it to the right. And open it as far as you can, still keeping that left hip down. Still keeping the shoulders on the floor. You can rest on a bolster, a block, or you can kind of pull it up until you feel a good stretch and pause it there. The higher you pull it, the more challenging. You can point the foot. I like to flex it through the heel. Feels harder. Again, long, slow, deep breaths. Inhaling, crown of the head reaching away, left toe reaching away. Creating space in the torso, exhaling everything, just connecting with the earth. Sending the breath to all those tight zones. Try to find that steady 5 or 6 count length breath. Last breath here. And then as you inhale, allow that right leg to come straight up, back to neutral rotation. Switch the grip. If you have a sandbag on the left leg, you may want to move it. Grab the strap with the left hand, release the right hand, and as you exhale, cross the right foot to the left side. The left leg can be bent, it can be straight. You can even put a sandbag on the outside of that right hip if you like, but draw the tailbone away from the crown of your head. So the outside of the right hip goes in the direction of the left foot. Keep your shoulders flat on the floor. Long, slow, deep breaths, 5 and 6 count in length. In through the nose, creating length, out through the nose, releasing tension. You can bend the knee a little if it's too much straight. If you want more IT, draw that left foot higher, like in line with your head or your left shoulder, and draw it outside of the hip away. Breathe. You have the sandbag on the hip, you can draw it off slightly. And then as you inhale, let that right foot come up, your back comes back to flat. Take the strap off, and then exhale, point and flex that leg all the way down. Ooh. Just take a moment in a little mini shavasana. Palms up, your feet kind of splay out to the sides. Close your eyes, take a few breaths, and notice the difference between the two sides. How different one hip feels from the other. And then when you're ready, as you inhale, bend the left knee, clasp your fingers around the shin, pull it in nice and snug. That right leg just kind of automatically comes back to neutral under your hips. You can make circles with the ankle if that feels good. And take your right hand to outside of this left knee. And as you inhale, just draw the left knee to the right, any amount. I like to hook the back, my left foot behind the back of the right leg. But see if you can keep the shoulders on the floor. You can look to the left. Breathe. Last 2 breaths like this. And shift your gaze towards the ceiling as you inhale. Roll that back to the back, left leg comes up. Exhale, straighten the left leg, slide your hands to the calf, shin, foot, whatever it is. It's a strap. Get situated, choke up on it. If you want to put a sandbag on the right knee, the right hip, you can do that. And then inhale, lengthen the leg, the arms, and exhale, pull it towards you. Try to find that 5 or 6 count length breath, whatever feels right to you. Shoulders on the floor, hips on the floor. Sandbag if you like on the hips or the shoulders. You hold it steady or you can inhale, back it up, exhale, pull. Maybe inhale, bend, exhale, straighten. Send your breath to where you feel resistance. So maybe inhale back up the left leg, rotate it to the left, quarter turn, release the right hand, and then exhale, open it to the left. In your mouth. And you go straight out to the left side. It can go in line with the shoulder, it can go to a bolster, a block. I usually go wherever I feel a stretch and then I hold there. Keeping the shoulders on the floor. Head on the floor, breathing. Five or 6 count length in your inhales and exhales. Last breath. And then when you're ready, as you inhale, let that left leg come up, comes back in neutral rotation. You can move the sandbag if you like. Use your right hand to hold the strap, release the left hand, and as you exhale, cross that left leg to the right. Draw the outside of the left hip down and away from your head in the direction of the right foot. See if you can keep the shoulders on the floor. If you want to put a sandbag on that left hip, you're welcome to do that. After at least 4 of those slow breaths, maybe pull the foot up a little more in line with that right shoulder or head. More IT, draw the outside of the left hip away. Last breath. We'll sandbag off, you can do that. As you inhale, let that left leg come straight up. Ooh. Release the strap, and as you exhale, point and flex that foot all the way down. And point and flex, you're creating lymphatic fluid, drainage, movement. Bring the palms up and just take a few moments here. Just a couple breaths in this mini shavasana. Notice how the hips feel. And then bend your right knee, bring the heel in line with the sit bone. Bend your left knee, bring that heel in line with the sit bone. Pick up your hips, and then reset them down. And then as you inhale, pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug, and as you exhale, make circles with your hands on your knees. In both directions. And next time your knees are over your hips, pause there, and then take the soles of the feet up to the ceiling. Widen your legs, a little bit wider than your chest. Grab the outside or the inside edges of your feet and gently pull down on the soles of your feet, which will draw your knees towards the floor. Your heels are kind of over the knees and not over your glutes necessarily. Your head's still on the floor, your spine is nice and long. You can hold it steady here, or you can even sort of inhale, straighten the legs, exhale, bend. Whatever feels good. It's just like Malasana or squat pose, but less hard on your knees, straight on your hips. And then release your feet. Let your heels go to your glutes, your knees come towards each other, and your feet go to the floor. Heels in line with your sit bones. As you inhale, lift your hips, turn your palms up, the back of your head on the floor, knees over heels. You can either have palms down and hold it here, or you can clasp your hands behind your back, tuck one shoulder in and the other. Press your forearms down into the floor, draw your hips up. Make sure you're not crunching your neck into the floor. You're pressing the back of your head, almost kind of lifting your chin towards the ceiling, not too high, but creating space like you can hold a golf ball between your chin and your chest. Opening up the front of your ribs. Imagine you're holding a block between your knees. Deep breathing, great low back exercise. And then release your arms, let them slide out as you lower your hips down. Pull your knees into your chest again, give yourself a hug. Make those circles, go both directions. And then grab one of your blocks that you have, and we're going to do supported bridge this time. Let your heels come to the floor, heels under your knees. Have your block. I like the medium height. You can do the low height. The high height's not restorative. Press into your feet. Inhale, lift your hips, and slide the block under your sacrum. So your sacrum is an upside down triangle bone, very bottom of your spine. Last, like, 4 vertebrae or so. Let the weight of your hips be supported by the block. The back of your shoulders be flat, back of your head is flat. If you slip your hand behind your neck, it should have free clearance so it's not smushed into the floor. Knees and toes facing the same direction. You can have palms up. You can have arms in cactus. You can have arms out to the side, palms up, whatever feels good. As you inhale, draw in through the crown of your head, creating space. Down your spine, and as you exhale, let it wash back up the way it came. Up the spine, back out the crown of the head. Inhale through the crown of the head, down at the tailbone. Exhale, back up through the crown of the head. Your next inhale for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as you exhale, exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 8. Do that 6 more times. Inhaling for 5. Go at your own pace. Exhaling for 8. Sending that exhale wherever you need to soften, wherever you feel tight or resistance. Two more rounds. Last breath. Go back to the natural breath. You can wiggle the fingers, the toes. The arms come down to your sides, palms down. Root into your feet. Inhale, lift your hips. Slide the block out from underneath. Exhale as you lower your hips. Inhale, pull your knees in. Give yourself a hug. Exhale, you can either rock a little left and right or make the circles, whatever feels good. And whenever you're ready, roll over to your favorite side and gently press yourself up. You're going to come to a pigeon. So however you want to do a pigeon, if you want like a blanket kind of folded under your hips, or maybe you want the bolster under your hips. I like the bolster in front. So you can either have the bolster under the hips and then 2 blocks and a blanket in front, or you can have a blanket or 2 under the hips. Right leg in front. I try to set the leg first. Try to make the shin kind of parallel-ish to the floor. And slide the back foot back as I center up my hips. Move the props so that they're under your hips. If you look, the right knee is a little bit wider than the outside. Actually, on this side. Than the outside of the hip. Prop a blanket under the hip. If you're like way off to the side like that, you put a blanket under that right hip. Try to square your hips as best you can. You can even put blocks under your blanket, under your bolster if you like. And then I kind of slide the whole contraption away. Rest your arms, maybe your forehead on the bolster blanket. Set up. Drop the left hip, draw that right hip back. Breathe into the back of your lungs. So as you inhale, fill up the back of your lungs. And as you exhale, let everything soften. You need it out in front of you a little more.
I don't know, am I square?
The bolster.
No, my hips, are my hips square?
Oh. Yes, they're good. Yeah, not good. That looks great. You want to stand back?
Stretching?
Stand back or no?
No.
No? Okay.
Everything's good.
Breathe.
Yep. Paying the price here.
Big, long, deep exhales into that sucky feeling. The tightness. Oh. Feel at the back of the lungs. Inhale, think of the crown of the head reaching away. Left toes reaching away. Exhale, all of that torso is just relaxing onto the prop to set up the earth. With every exhale, let yourself soften and release just a little bit deeper, a little bit longer. How can you soften? How can you embrace the tightness and welcome it so that it softens? You need to deepen the breath. Little fingers, begin to release the hands, place them under your shoulders, and as you inhale, draw your chest up. And just exhale, take a moment, let your head hang, even sway it a little bit, a nice little stretch as you take ear to shoulder, maybe look over each shoulder, a little stretch there. And then we're going to curl the left toes, pick up the left knee, and kind of scooch forward a little bit. And then pick up the left leg and the hips, draw the right leg back. Oh, shake it out. Notice how different it feels. Wow. And then pedal out the legs, bend one knee, lean into the other heel, vice versa. Take a few breaths right here in a down dog. Hands, shoulders width apart. Heels in the direction of the earth. Let your head hang. Find a softness in here. the spine kind of hang, relax long. Neck relaxes as the head hangs, shoulders kind of broaden. And then when you're ready, bring that left leg forward. Switch sides so you can see better. So that left knee comes up. And I sort of line it up so that the left knee is in line with the heel and it's already kind of in line with the front of the mat. Then I scooch the back leg back to try to center my hips. Draw the prop to where I need it instead of forcing my legs to bend in a way. Perfect. And then I'm having the bolster on 2 blocks. I kind of slide the whole thing away, rest my arms on it, and just, I have it in front so my forehead can rest on it, which I feel like gives my torso and neck a little traction. The weight of my torso kind of hangs between my hips and my forehead and arms. Right hip drops down, left hip pulls back. Left knee is still a little wider than the outside of the hip. If anything hurts your knee, make an adjustment so it doesn't, even if it's not the perfect shape or whatever. Let me know so I can help. Okay, let me forget my timer. There you go. Here we go. Inhaling, crown of the head reaching away, middle right foot reaching away. Sole of your right foot is facing up. Find a level hip. That's good. Scan your body and notice where it is that you can soften. Where can you soften? Just a few more breaths. You're going to deepen the breath. Release the hands, wiggle the fingers and toes. Slide your hands under your shoulders, and as you inhale, draw your torso up. As you exhale, let your head hang for a moment. sway a little left and right, shoulder to shoulder, maybe even look over each shoulder. A little stretch. And then kind of curl your right toes, pick up the right knee, scooch forward enough that you can pick up that whole left leg. Oh, draw it behind you into a down dog, shake it out. Take a few breaths. Maybe bending one knee, leaning into the other heel or hip and vice versa. Pressing through your fingertip pads, the base knuckles of your fingers, and kind of broadening across your shoulders as you let the head hang. Draw the navel to the spine, tuck the tailbone, draw kneecaps up. Breathe. And when you're ready, come down to your knees, tabletop, and then sit on your heels. Perfect. And then let's do a Baddha Konasana. So before we do a legs up the wall. Okay, one block on high, one block on medium, but they're kind of close together. You take your bolster and you sit it across the top. You make sure the bolster is touching the mat on the bottom and that your blocks are stable. So Judith, my teacher, likes them to kind of come at an angle, but whatever works for you. That's her little secret trick. And then turn away from it. I like to have something under the knees. So I take my blanket and kind of roll it up, put it under the knees. If you want to have soles of the feet together, you can do that as well. You can put a sandbag on your hips. Just scooch back so that there's not a space, a gap between your hips and the bolster. Then gently lay back. Your palms up, arms out to the side. Make sure they're resting on a blanket or something cozy, not hanging. You can put that washcloth across your eyes if you like. Supta Baddha Konasana. As you inhale, imagine the crown of your head drawing away from your tailbone. Tailbone drawing in to the earth. And as you exhale, drawing all that energy from the crown of your head and your tailbone back, up and down your spine. Starting at the crown of your head, with every exhale, find a place to soften, working your way down. For example, inhale, find length, and exhale, soften the scalp. Soften your forehead, your eyebrows. Soften your temples, your nose, your cheeks, your jaw. Relax your tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Swallow and then soften your throat. Relax your shoulders. Soften your clavicle. Back of your ribs. The front of your ribs. Your arms. Starting with the arm socket. Softening the biceps, the triceps. Elbow, forearm, wrists, hands, front and back, fingers. Softening your rib cage. Abdomen, just below the ribs. Behind the navel, hips. Glutes soften. Psoas. Hip flexors soften. Thigh bones soften into the hip joints. Femurs relax a little. Quads, your hamstrings, and let go. Knees soften. Calves relax. Shins. Ankles soften. Feet soften. Tops, the bottom, the toes. And your next exhale, everything softens from top to bottom. Noticing where you still feel resistance and sending the breath there. And a nice deep inhale, at least 5, if not longer. And a long, slow exhale, a few counts longer than your inhale. Perfectly comfortable, you can finish your shavasana in this pose. Otherwise, begin to wiggle the fingers, feel the toes, and then move into the legs up the wall or bolster. Maybe stretch your arms over your head. If you don't want to do legs up the wall or bolster, then stay where you are. If you do, then begin to bend your knees, your heels closer to your sit bones, slide the bolster off. Usually put one arm down and use the other arm to kind of pull myself up. You can either move towards the wall or just turn around and scooch close to the bolster and put your legs up the bolster. And you can put the sandbag on the hips. You cover up, whatever works. Turn your palms up. Bring your arms in cactus. Whatever makes you, yeah. You got the long, you can do the wall.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. You do too.
beaches at sunset, or feeling the perfect balance of stillness and meditation. Every moment of your life can be just as whole if you allow it to be so. Today, find the treasures in the most mundane moments. Begin to bring your awareness back to your body, lying on the floor, and deepen the breath. And wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Maybe even as you inhale, you start to reach up over your head, get long. Take a few breaths right here. Maybe making circles with the wrists. When you're ready, in your own timing, as you exhale, now roll over to your favorite side. Take a moment there. Eyes softly closed, maybe resting your head on your bicep. Just want to notice how you feel. And gently press yourself up to seated, keeping the eyes softly closed. When you're ready, as you inhale, turn your palms up and away from you. As you exhale, open your palms together at your heart center. Just take a moment right there. Take a breath, inhaling. Let go of tension as you exhale. And we'll seal our practice with one round of Om. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to join our voices. And bow just to honor yourself and thank yourself for making you a priority, doing something for you nobody else can do. Thank you so much for sharing your yoga with me. It's always a pleasure. My name's Rochelle again.